Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 19th of June. We're working our way through the book of Deuteronomy with Robert Murray McShane, and today we read chapter 24, a chapter with a miscellany of laws and rules, a number of which deal with social justice and looking after people. And so it's saying that if you lend money to a poor person, don't take the grindstones as surety, because then they can't provide for themselves and you undermine them further. Likewise, if you lend money and you take their cloak as surety, give it back to them at night because they need it to keep warm. And so it continues. Toward the end of the chapter in verse 19, we read, "When you are harvesting in your field and you overlook a sheaf, do not go back to get it. Leave it for the alien, the fatherless, and the widow, so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands." And it also goes on and says, if you're harvesting your olives or grapes, don't go over the branches a second time. Whatever you didn't get the first time, leave, and the alien, the fatherless, and the widows can come and harvest and provide for themselves. And we know that this is a law that they did apply, because a couple of books later we read in the book of Ruth, how Ruth, a Moabitess, comes back to Bethlehem with her mother-in-law Naomi, and she goes to glean in the fields, to pick up what the harvesters have left, and in that way to provide for herself and her mother-in-law. And so it is a law that they did apply. And it's a challenge to us, because as I was reading that, I thought, it's not saying when you're harvesting, take 1/10 of your harvest or 1/20 of your harvest and go and give it to the poor. It's saying structure things in such a way that the marginalized and those on the periphery of society have a way of providing for themselves, that they can come in, they can pick up, they can harvest what's left, they can therefore accumulate what they need to keep alive. And it's a challenge to structure societies in such a way. It's far easier just to take money, give it to people, and instead we need to rather change things slightly so that we might not have as much as we could possibly get, but that others have an opportunity to make ends meet as well. And how we bring about this social justice is a challenge to us in our own personal lives, in our dealings with people, but also to society, to the church as a whole. And we certainly haven't got it right, and it's a challenge that we keep pursuing. How do we run our lives, run our society, that the marginalized are kept in mind and assisted? Be challenged as you think about it. Be encouraged in generosity, because that's the kind of God we serve. He says, do this so that it might go well with you. And as we look after the poor, we do it because it's the right thing, and that God will look after us in turn. Be blessed.